Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to this feminine platform and welcome back to this channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So today's feminine school video is a long overdue one and is a topic that is often a huge blind spot in both feminine and hypergamous conversations. And that is the topic of emotional intelligence, which is often ignored in favor of the performative parts of being feminine. So this is a very much needed feminine self-awareness video because having emotional intelligence is on the low one of the most important soft feminine life skills that a woman can possess. Now, there are the feminine arts of having feminine grace, feminine softness, feminine etiquette, feminine wellness, and feminine sophistication. But then there is the womanhood game changer of having emotional intelligence. So grab a pen, get your coffee, get your tea, and hopefully you can use this video to evolve and grow in your femininity journey. Now, emotional intelligence is a woman's ability to both express and to control and to manage her emotions, but it is also her emotional ability to understand, to interpret, and to respond to the emotions of others and her surrounding environment. And having emotional intelligence is not always easy. It takes time to develop and a lot of trial and error. So not only having emotional intelligence is beneficial to oneself, but it is also beneficial when it comes to the art of attraction and the art of seduction and the art of love seeking, because the masculine divine is deeply attracted to a woman who possesses a high amount of emotional intelligence, as emotional intelligence is deeply connected to matters of the heart. Ladies, no high value man is interested in a woman who has low emotional intelligence because low emotional intelligence can be very embarrassing to a man who has worked hard to become successful. So in many ways, having low emotional intelligence is very anti-seductive and in many ways can make you less attractive. Now, as a disclaimer, and for a bit of house cleaning, please do not confuse a woman who has low emotional intelligence with a woman being dumb, stupid, or worthless. There are plenty of successful and accomplished women who have low emotional intelligence, but we all have blind spots and weaknesses that can be improved upon. But one of the greatest communication gifts that a woman can bring to her feminine divine, to her family, to breaking generational curses and generational strongholds is the gift of emotional awareness, as the feminine realm is expected to be responsible for the validating emotions of empathy, compassion, kindness, nurturing, tenderness, gentleness, and warmth, as these are all great emotional wellness qualities that a quality man will look for when it comes to choosing the mother of his children. So no man of substance is attracted to a woman who is narcissistic, immature, self-centered, or who lacks nurturing skills, as these are red flag markers of a woman who would be both a horrible mother and a miserable wife. So as you can see, possessing a high degree of emotional intelligence will make a woman a better lover, a better mother, a better wife, a better friend, and an asset as opposed to a liability to her family and to her extended community. And quite honestly, I could not do what I do on this channel if I were not emotionally intelligent on a high level. So let's start by discussing the 10 major signs of a woman who has low emotional intelligence. And yes, I will warn you, you will see yourself in one of these qualities. Number 10, a woman who generally lacks compassion and kindness for others. Women who have the inability to put themselves in other people's shoes are typically low on empathy. And women who are low on empathy tend to be very unattractive to quality men of the opposite sex. Number 9, a woman who resorts to violence to problem solve. Yelling, screaming, throwing things, wanting to go to fisticuffs, being a walking fist fight, making mountains out of molehills, constantly elevating the petty, or otherwise resorting to physical and psychological violence as a default solution is a woman who possesses low emotional intelligence. Number 8, a woman who doesn't know how to actively listen. Being able to listen to others when they are speaking is a game changer, as most people will listen to react, to debate, or to argue a person down. Self-interested women are notoriously known for being poor listeners. Number 7, a woman who never apologizes. Women who cannot say the two very important words, "I'm sorry," are women who are horrible friendship and romantic relationship material and are very low on the emotional intelligence totem pole. Imagine not having the ability to apologize to your own husband or your children. Number 6, a woman who always needs to be right. The need to always be right is a sign of a woman whose ego is fragile, and is a sign of a woman who lacks humility, or is a sign of a woman who is power hungry or who needs power to feel important. Number 5, a woman who doesn't know how to read the room. Speaking out of turn, depending on the situation and or environment, is indicative of a woman who doesn't understand that both communication or socialization is not one size fits all. My grandma will call it get you some act right, which basically means the same way that you act in a bowling alley is not the same way that you would act in a job interview. Learning how to adjust your behaviors in specific situations is a must-have ladylike feminine skill. Number 4, a woman whose default is the blame game. A woman who plays the blame game constantly is a red flag sign of low emotional intelligence. Being able to accept fair and reasonable criticism is a sign of high emotional intelligence. Ladies, a lot of people may have wronged you in life, but no woman is completely faultless. Number 3, a woman who doesn't understand reciprocity. People who expect to receive, this is time, gifts, or favors of others, but who never give, are generally experienced as selfish, hurtful, and withholding. And this is a huge low emotional intelligence red flag. People who are takers, but are never givers. Number 2, a woman who is self-absorbed. All about me women are everywhere, sucking the life out of a room, steering conversations toward themselves, and are always looking to outbeat others when it comes to receiving attention. And number 1, and this is a huge one, the inability to process grief. Grief is a natural response to losing someone or something that is important to you. And as women, we lose parents, grandparents, we lose babies, we lose opportunities, we lose friends. But instead of confronting our grief, a person with low emotional intelligence will instead self-soothe. A person with low emotional intelligence will resort to anger and will remain stuck in anger. And anger is very tricky because it can help us to avoid our grief, but anger will never allow you to heal. And healing is a huge part of having high emotional intelligence. So as you can see, ladies, having low emotional intelligence can literally rob you of networking opportunities, of developing good friendships, good relationships, good marriages, attracting good boyfriends, and will especially rob you of success in romance with capable provider men. High quality provider men will perceive your low emotional intelligence as anti-seductive, and in many ways, and you can go argue with your wig, but in many ways, high quality masculine men are wired to expect women to have a high degree of emotional intelligence, as women are expected to be the femininity gatekeepers of kindness, thoughtfulness, compassion, caring, and empathy, as opposed to being a gatekeeper of surrogate masculinity. So how does a woman begin to fix her low emotional intelligence? How can her low emotional intelligence be fixed? A great place to start is to read a lot of self-help books. Reading lots of self-help books are an invaluable source of developing and strengthening your emotional intelligence, and you can now shop all of my highly recommended self-help books at the New Feminine Amazon shop. Another tip, when in therapy, ask your therapist to assist you in improving your emotional intelligence as a specific goal. Another tip, learn how to give yourself feminine grace. The manosphere and their pick-me counterparts will clown you all day, but learn how to give yourself grace for what you were never taught and for what you didn't know. Forgive yourself for not being perfect, and know that self-compassion and kindness are a feminine must. Another tip, understand that femininity and having high emotional intelligence go together, hand in hand, real bad. So no, ladies, being feminine and having emotional intelligence are not separate. It is a marriage, and it is the equivalent of using fabric softener in your laundry. And lastly, having emotional intelligence does not make you a weak lamb for the slaughter. It makes you whip smart and understanding how to connect with your fellow mankind, your man, your family, and your children. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. And to open up this conversation, ladies, what area of emotional intelligence do you struggle with most? Are you guilty of not knowing how to act right in different scenarios? Are you guilty of not having the soft feminine skill of knowing how to read a room? And are you the type of woman who easily gets offended often? And as always, stay tuned for more Feminine School videos to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.